What's up, y'all? It's Jam and Sam, and today we're going to talk about the Donkey Kong Country soundtrack. Go into analysis of this. Someone requested Northern Hemispheres, so we're gonna go into that one, and then there was Funky's Fugue. We'll go into that as well. So first off, we have a like this classic box bass, which we always have in this soundtrack. And then we've got some ice sounds. These are actually two different sounds. There's the mine ambience from Misty Menace, and it's being played like just a bunch of times. And it's being played really high pitched. And it's just being played like a little dot, like it's like a little pulse. So it's like the volume is like just a pluck. So it just sounds like a hit, really. But if you were to stretch this out, so then when you turn it down, it's like just a bit of noise, really. It's almost like a burst of brown noise. So it's almost supposed to sound like ice cracking, I feel like. You know, it's like just the ice is cracking around you, you know, and echoing off into the distance. And that's the lower part. Of the upper part is like actually a high bongo. So it's like... So it's also shortened to sound like a really small burst. We're really just using that click in the bongo, that initial hit, the transient. So it's that's pretty clever and experimental. I like that. And so this is going on. It's kind of doing all this thing, and then we have this little click sound in the top there. And what this is it's a droplet sound from the cave. But it's being played up high, where is it? In C7. So 2 octaves up. Actually 3 octaves. And then it just echoes off into infinity. So it's actually a droplet played up high. Oh, we can't hear anything. Wow. Have I just been... Wait, you can't hear anything? You can't hear that? Oh, wait, you mean when it's playing? Oh, why is oh, that's because FL Studio is like stupid and I need to select FL Studio ACO for anything else to hear it. Okay, so basically I'll run through it again. This is the Vox bass that's used in all the songs. And here we have the mine ambience that's used in Misty Menace, and it's just a little hit, like if you extend the sustain. It's just a little burst of noise. It just sounds like a little hit. And it's being played up high, up in C. Here's like the regular. So it's just a little burst of noise. And then you have... See, this game makes cave noises scarier than EXE games. Ah, yeah, that cave noise is like super cool. All right, more DKC1 songs. Nice. Yes. Someone requested this song, so we'll go through it. I'm taking requests on stuff to analyze in DK1, so I don't mind if people want to hear an analysis of a specific song that they like. Now they're doing the same thing for the bongo. So it's like a click, really. It's just basically just that initial hit. So it's supposed to sound like, you know, ice cracking. And then you have this droplet being played. So down, normally it sounds like that's the drop from the cave thing, but then up an octave, up 2 octaves. So it's up 2 octaves and it's echoing to infinity. And then you have like a kick drum here, played down really low. So this is just like, here's the normal pitch. And then but this is playing down here. I think it's actually playing like, so it's like, this is the root octave, down 1 octave, down 2 octaves. And then this is something that Evelyn did a lot in Donkey Kong Country 3 as well. It's like she uses these really low-pitched basses to basically sound like sound effects, like electronic percussion. Pretty cool. I actually got your restored version of DKC 2 and 3 on vinyl. It is still missing, but will be added eventually. Yeah, people have cited that as a problem. If you want to, you can email me, and I'll put it on to and I'll pass it off like with proof that you bought the thing, and then I'll just pass it off to my contact in the label, and we'll hopefully get that sorted. I've been getting like a lot of requests about like people who haven't gotten their vinyl yet, and so I've been having to like pass it off to my contact in the label. Hopefully we'll get everybody will get their vinyl soon that they ordered. Oh, you mean like DKC1 is okay, you still haven't gotten DKC1. Yeah, that makes sense. So this is let's see. We have that kick, right? And then it's like doing some odd, see it like now that second beat is like 1 quarter note off. You haven't ordered it yet. That makes sense. Okay. So it's basically like a little bit off just to throw you off. See, this is like 1 quarter note off, like ahead, or no, late. And then you have this piece of this like metal hit, which is this hit is like a sound that's used like sparingly as percussion. It's like a mute cowbell type thing, and it's being played. Here's like up an octave. Oh, actually, up 2 octaves, and then it plays down. And it plays down an octave first. And then we have the harp. This is doing like a little, like the first 3 notes of a minor scale. Oh, but actually down here. This is way lower than a harp would ever go. And then you have this ambience. It's like this flute pad. So it's basically a flute note making a really high ringing sound. Like it's almost like a piccolo. Like maybe a slow piccolo. You have one piano hit, but she takes the transient out, so it's just like a soft hit. And it echoes to infinity, right? And then goes down, it goes a G and then down to F. So it's basically a lot of little hits here. And the bass here is in C. So we're kind of establishing this piece as in C minor. And then you have this is the first 3 notes of C minor, so that's pretty much establishing that. And then the flute is in C, right? And then you have G, A sharp, so pretty much we're in C minor right here. Going up to G, or F, I think it was, oh no, it was G and then A sharp. And then you have the piano on G, so it's also going up, hitting G, anticipating the next flute thing. And then you have this line from the harp, which is like kind of like going dun, 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 dun. It's going up high, going up a little higher, but starting on C, so it's like kind of like uplifting. It's kind of like outlining a C sus4 chord, C sus4 arpeggio, while the piano down here does that F, which also is in the chord of C sharp of C sus4. But the flute pad is doing like a sharp. That's not really a chord, but you know. Or it's almost, rather that's like a C sus4 7. So it would be like dominant, but it's like a sharp third, making it a sus4. Pretty cool, pretty nice chord. Still have that drum beat going in the background. And now we have 2 flute notes going in it. So then this time we have F and A sharp going, and then this one goes up to D sharp while there's another higher one, right? So there's like 2 different flute notes. It's like, okay. We have so there's still a C in the bass, but we're kind of changing the chord to be like an A sharp. And then the harp is still doing that C minor thing again. And then the piano is now in C, and we're playing 2 notes in C. Dum, dum, dum. So everything else is pretty much in C, but this thing goes up to like F and A sharp. So it's kind of very like venturing out a little bit. It's like at first she mostly sticks to like the C minor notes, or C minor 7 notes, and then she kind of ventures out a little bit with all this stuff. These games can really nail cavern ambience. Yes, it can. Very good at it. And then now we have like, we have a C sharp in here, so this thing is like really going off the rails now. C sharp is not in the key of C minor. And more, it's being layered with a C in the upper octave, so that's actually like pretty dissonant here. So we're getting a little bit tense. Because a perfect octave would sound really nice, but then the fact that she flattened this, like chose a C natural here in the top, that makes it really tense. If you put it up an octave, it would be like, but no, it's like, yeah. Okay, so that's going on, and then you have like a sudden sharp change in here. The bass stops, and then you have a bongo going on. Like the bass drops out, and then you have the kicks change beat. It sort of picks up pace. So now we have 3 hits, and it's like, so now it's sort of getting upping the pace. So now it's like, before it's like, okay, we're just like introducing the stage, and it's kind of really suspenseful and light, but then now it's like we're getting some rhythm going in here, so it's like hurrying you along, so to speak. Now it's like you're picking up the pace. And we also have this bongo going on. Dun, 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 going on every 3rd beat. And then you have this metal thing coming in again. Meanwhile, you have this flute like making these long legato notes on C and G, so it's like a power chord, right? And the idea of the power chord is like these open fifths are really like, well, they're powerful. That's why they call them a power chord. So it really like drives you along. That's what they use in rock music on a rock guitar, rock rhythm guitars. It's always power chords. You are incredible. Keep up the amazing work. Thank you, Tommy. Welcome to the stream. Sounds like ice breaking. Yeah, a lot actually the metal kind of does. I think it's like a lot of these songs were in this game were like trying to mimic like either including nature sounds or trying to mimic nature sounds in some way. Like I feel like the flutes are trying to emulate wind a little bit, like the whistling of the winds, you know? And there's echo on this bongo, so it kind of has, it really sounds like it has two hits. But it's a lot more rapid than it would be if it were just those one hits, right? Like if we disable this, we have some really powerful like echoes here. So, and then we get to, we repeat the metal hit again. And then you have another flute coming in there. This one sounds really dissonant. Ooh. So this one is like we have a G sharp going up above that C sharp. So this is a minor second. This is like really dissonant right here. Oops, I'm in like a different flute. So that one's gonna be really, now we're really building up tension. And then we have another F, then we have an F sharp going up here. So she's really building up the tension here. Like it's a lot of that film score, like where they had the violins doing these dissonant things. This interval is like, that's a dissonant interval on top of, and then we go into, let's see, we have this harp coming in again. So now we're having a lot of minor seconds here. This is no longer like outlining a chord. Now we're just going off the rails and like creating a lot of tension. So this is like G sharp. So we have like kind of a power chord going here, but then it's like doing, also using G sharp. So it's kind of weird. It's like really building tension. So you have a minor second here and a minor second here. And it's like got a delay on it. So there's like, you're getting double the timing here pretty much. And then it really kicks up into, this is like a sort of like introducing the tension, and now we really have this like kicking it up into high gear. I think there's also a tempo change here somewhere. Maybe not. No tempo change, just doing its thing. And then so then we come in with this piano, right? It's like this piano riff, which is taking the lead. So for this piano, we have, it's another power chord in C. So that's kind of like this, and it's going up. It's like C, G, G sharp, or A flat. And so that's kind of like, this is a very this perfect fit is a very complete, like a very consonant interval, but then this is like a very dissonant one, so we're combining dissonance. So it's kind of like that thing Dave was doing in Aquatic Ambience. It's kind of with those kind of intervals. And this is also kind of a little bit similar to what she did in with the harp in Ice Cave Chant, right? Because it's like, she kind of did riffs like this a lot, or ostinatos. It's technically an ostinato. And then in the drums we have, so it's like a little, what is this? This is more mine ambience actually. So we're kind of, no, actually this is a, wait, no, that's the kick playing up high. So the kick is kind of functioning as a, well, really it's just another kick, because this one's like a little normal. This one's like a little bit higher than this would be normal pitch. And it goes up a little bit. And in the functioning as the kick, so to speak, we now have some cave ambience that's going lower. And it still has that very sharp, detached articulation. Now it's playing down 2 octaves low. So it's making like a beat, kind of like we had an aquatic ambience with the kind of mimicking that. And then the bass comes back. Right back on C, like where it started. So now you have the harp going at it with the piano for a brief moment. And then you have some strings come in. Some staccato strings. So this is doing a minor third in C like we did before. And then but then it goes down. Oh wow, this is like, I can't even hear this because of the envelope controller, but you know. And so this is like really consonant, this minor third here, but then this is like a little dissonant because we're doing a major second. And then we go to a proper chord on a G sharp major chord. So now we're kind of building this chord, and then we have G sus 4. So G sharp major down to G sus 4. Pretty interesting. And all the while we have this beat that's continuing to go, and then we have this synth. What synth is this? I think this is like one of those synths that plays under aquatic ambience and in Life at the Mines. Yeah, this is like a little FM synth of some kind. It's pitch bending up, and then, so it's pitch bending up on from A sharp to C. Kind of like aquatic ambience did with the dun. And then it goes up to C and then goes down to the lower C. And then pitch bends up from the lower A sharp back to C again. So it's really just a lot of C's. Kind of building some suspense there. And then we have a little click here. What's this doing? I think this is another droplet. No, this is actually the mine ambience. No, wait. Yeah, this is claves. Look at this. Playing up all the way up in C8. Well, this would be a normal pitch. Well, like this is like a normal pitch for a clave. That's kind of a normal pitch for a clave. So it's technically playing an octave up. Or a little high pitch click. It's sort of like an insect sound, right? Very subtle. And then this is interesting. We have the bass like just kind of shifting up suddenly. Like we're going with like a lot of unexpected stuff here. This song is like shifting around and is very unstable. But it goes from F to G really quick. Do-dum, doom, and then goes down to C. Do-dum, doom. And then we have like, now we have this like shift in, so we have a bass doing like this. It like briefly comes in for a second, stops, and then it goes, and then it like fades in, right? It's sort of like foreboding because you have this and then it suddenly jumps down. right? All the while above it, you have this kick hitting harder. Sort of like the kick is muting out the bass, and it comes in this space right here. So that's kind of funny, kind of interesting. Then you have these like sharp strings. It's actually kind of just really just functioning as a synth here. And it's playing a C note. So it's basically, this is like really rapid notes. This is like 16th notes. So we're like really picking up the pace here. Actually, I think this is triplets. No, this is like some weird stuff. This is like not even really going on the beat. This is like just kind of... Actually, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I think this is just because it's like 3/4. Like, Evelyn encoded her songs in 3/4, but actually composed them in 4/4. So it's technically just common time. It's just like 16th notes, I think. But this is like the string sample, but it's just like really sharp and detached. So it sounds like, and it's a synth string, so it is technically a synth. Hey there, good to see you. Hey, are you able to restore voices of the characters, like the ghost snakes in the forest in forest interlude stage? Characters in the level go along with the music. Hi, Ciara Garrity, welcome. Yes, that particular sample is like most of the voices I'm not able to restore because it's like the monkey sounds. No, because that was recorded by Rare. But the ghost rope, I think, yeah, they are kind of snakes, aren't they? I never realized those are supposed to be snakes, but they're like sort of ropes, like you're climbing up snakes. But those ropes are basically the synth voice patch. So if we go and grab this synth voice, right? Where's the synth voice? Airvox. Actually, I have it here too. So if we go and pitch bend this, right? It's not smooth though. I want it to be smooth. I'm not really getting my pitch bend wheel is not working. Oh, it's still not smooth. So like the ghost rope sound is like, here, let me do another pattern for this. It would be like, oh. But it'd be faster than that, right? And then to go down and be like, oh. So there might have been like a smaller interval than that. Maybe the going down was like a smaller interval. So that was like kind of like the rope going in and out. Yeah. Pretty cool. Hey Sam, how are you? How are you? What did I miss? Hi, Grandmaster Azure. Welcome. We've just been going through Northern Hemispheres, so it's really still the first song. Unpacking a lot of it. Okay, so we've got this. I see. Yes, it sounds like the snake rope character. For the explanation, you're welcome. So now we have this harp here, right? And it's picking up the pace. It's like keeping the pace going. And now this one's like more repetitive because now we have like a three note phrase rather than a 4-note one. So it feels kind of faster because we're repeating the same 3 notes instead of the same 4 notes. And we're varying the decay here, right? So I have the automation going on the length of the note and it keeps on changing. for some variation to make it feel more alive. And then we go change the notes a bit, right? We're going climbing up, but we're always keeping the bottom note at C. So we're starting like from C to G sharp, right? This very minor melody. And then we're doing that like it's the same thing we did before. We're starting out with just the C to D to E flat. And then we go to that C sus for our chord like before. Because remember we did like, now we're doing that in thirds, in like 3 notes. So it feels a little faster. And then just like before when we did, now we're doing that with like faster notes. Right? So so she's reusing sort of like the same chord progression, so to speak. So it's kind of has like a faux chord progression she's alluding to, but it's not really like she's not just putting random notes everywhere. She's actually like alluding to a chord progression a little bit, which is pretty clever. So we're really picking up pace here. And then we're rising, so the notes are getting higher, right? And the bass is actually rising too, so it's going D sharp, F, so D sharp, or E flat, F, and then down to C again. So we're like relaxing a little, we're building tension, and then we're like releasing it suddenly. And we're adding a new instrument. So this new instrument, we have the synths. This is the FM synth again, right? Actually, I think this is this is the same one as before. This sort of sounds like Vangelis a little bit to me. That bottom note is shorter, right? This bottom note is shorter than the top 2 notes. That's why I separated it. And there's sort of tack on the top 2 notes. So it's sort of really like, it's really picking up the pace because these notes are all the same. There's no variation, so it's really. It's more really like a rhythm. And then in the bass we have doing this pretty much the same thing. And then the harp is like getting higher and higher, right? It's just going haywire at this point. But there is actually some method to the madness, right? We're still sticking to the C minor scale. We are sticking to the C minor scale, right? Yeah, we are. But it's definitely in the C minor scale. We're doing more minor stuff, but we're getting higher, right? We're doing that C minor thing, right? And then we're going up to F. And then we go way up high to... So it's kind of like chord tones, right? Like it's like focusing on this C minor 7. Mostly. Except for this F right here. Ooh, and then it's like, wow, this is like a nice... Like, we're definitely implying a chord change here because now we're focusing on, what is this, like, B flat major? Yeah, it's very B flat major focus. Actually, I think we're focusing more on B sus 4. And then we repeat this other one before. But it's definitely a chord change. It's like we're going bum 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 bum. Oh, wait, actually, it's more like there's not that much change. It's like bum bum C minor, A B flat sus 4, and then we do like then we go way down to this F here, and then up an octave. Do, 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 do. Now we're like kind of upping the chaos here. We're really not alluding to much of a chord. Almost sounds kind of Asian in a way because we're mostly sticking to the pentatonic scale here. You don't really see a lot of like close together notes like you see you don't really see lots of minor seconds or minor or thirds here. Yeah, it's really going. So we're really getting like a direction here. You can see kind of a right. It's like do. It's sort of like going in a cycle here, right? That's like a sine wave, sort of. It's following like a fluid motion. Very nice. Nice. Thank you for your work. I already answered about DKC, about DK Remaster. You're welcome. Glad you enjoy it. All right, so then you have this next section, which doesn't really change in the drums, right? It's like the same thing. And then you have the flute, and you have the like wood flute, wave station wood flute in the bass, right? No, that's not really weird. That's not really what it was. Ah, this is the synth again. Now we've traveled down to like, we go from this octave, like, no, from this C, from the C, down to D sharp, right? So now we're like breaking the scale even because this F, like this F sharp is not in the scale. Oops. This F sharp is like not, or this F sharp is not in the scale. It's, so we're breaking the scale a little bit. We're like modulating. So this is building up more tension. So once again, we're doing like this minor third walk down, and then we're doing the sus chord, but it's like modulating to a different key. So this is like D sharp now. It's like D sharp minor. But meanwhile, the bass is still staying in C, right? So it's almost like, oh, this is like C diminished now. We're outlining C diminished, which is like, that's even real dissonant as it is, right? And then we're going to that, we're going to E flat sus 4, just like before, where we're doing minor, sus 4, and then this kind of thing right here. So we're following that same pattern. She's using like these patterns to like that we're familiar with. It's not just random notes. You like the synth? Yeah, it's like, that's a typical FM synth. It's a cool synth. Getting some texts. That's my text tone. I've been sharing with my family like some of the funny comments I see on my YouTube videos. I read these things every time I log into YouTube, right? Just because it's like they make some intro, or in case anyone asks a question. But sometimes I see these funny comments, and I have to share them. So here we're changing, like we're breaking the scale, right? We're like basically modulating to D sharp in the synth, and in here, this is like, oh, I forgot about this part. So before we do that, we did that thing with the harp. This is basically the same notes as the harp, but I forgot about this riff. It's like going in, it's coming in first. This is the wave station wood flute, right? And I think in the game, it's actually shortened to a single cycle, so it sounds like a synth. That's exactly the same notes as before. We're just copying them to the harp later on. And we're using this same pattern, right? This C minor to C sus 4 to C power chord with like a G sharp on top. And right, it's like the bass, everything is rising here. Like we're getting this, like we're going up to F, D sharp in the bass, G, and then we're dropping down. But then we're introducing this flute melody, right? This this is very. This also sounds like Vangelis. This is exactly the kind of melody that Vangelis used. Remember, like in Antarctica, it was like. Something like that. This is something that also Dave uses a lot. It's like if you remember in Miling Melancholy, it was like. So it's always like they're going up like to the fourth note in the scale, like doing the minor walk up to the third note in the scale, and then you go move down to the second note in the scale, and then you go down to the first note in the scale, right? That's like kind of a similar. It's like a slow minor walk down from the 3, 2, 1. But you like hit some accidentals along the way, right? It's like, and it's always that like the last part is always this like 7, the 7th note in the scale, that accidental. So it's like. Very common melody. So we have that going on. Meanwhile, we have this harp going on in the background. And we also have this synth going on. So you have a lot of notes going on here, right? Meanwhile, you have this relaxing melody in the background. So we're really, in this part section, we're really removing tension, right? So you have... So, right? So here, everything is rising. And then it drops. And here we modulate into D sharp, right? So we're doing that we're doing that thing in the with the synth. We're going down here, making that same arpeggio as before. And then in here, we're sort of going with the flute again. We're reprising that that crazy arpeggio from before, but now it's transposed down to D sharp. So it's modulated down to D sharp. And now the melody is going in D sharp too. It's like we're going. Still doing that like same 3, 2, 1 motion. Right? Almost like Pirates of the Caribbean. Yes, yeah, Pirates of the Caribbean was like... It was like yeah, it did kind of that similar kind of thing in the key of D. Something like that. Ending on that E, there's like really, really dissonant. Nice. So yeah, this thing is it kind of like resolves on C, right? So we're modulating back to C because this melody is like and then it goes down C. So we're establishing C again, C minor. Right? and we're like releasing tension because this is like rising, and then we release the tension. And then we do like this is a really Asian sounding part because which is due in part by these parallel fourths here. That kind of makes it sound Asian. They do that a lot in traditional Asian music. And this is just that same line as before. That's the same crazy arpeggios, but we're adding in their parallel fourths. These are all the same notes as before. And we're using the synth strings to like with a pluck articulation. Just for variation. Nice. And meanwhile, we also have another, that plucking string again on C going in the background. And it's playing like these shorter intervals. And so it's like sort of like a polyrhythm, right? Like this is in like 3/4. We have 1, 2. Oh no, this is actually in 4/4, and then the one over there is in like 3/4 or something like that. I don't know. It's encoded all weird, so it's like the timing isn't even matching really. This is like it's in 3/4, but there's like four notes to a quarter note or something like that. But this is like but the key point to take away here is like these timings don't match this one, so it's all out of sync with each other, which creates a little even more tension. And then we restart back to the beginning. All of a sudden, like it's like without even warning, we just go back to the beginning, but not the total beginning, right? Like we're cutting off this intro right here. It sounds like, yeah, we start basically right here again, like when the drums come in. And we basically skip this intro. This intro just exists to kind of orient us in the space. And then we're kind of getting back into the main swing here. Nice. Pretty cool song. It's crazy how many bars some of those melody notes cross over, though. What, you mean like how many bars? Like those... Well, the melodies are kind of staying within the bars, right? Like, see, you have... This fits nicely into 4 bars. This fits nicely into 4 bars. And so does this. So it all really goes... One thing she doesn't do is, like, really break the, like, 4s in bars enough, very much. So she does, like... As far as the whole thing, so you have like there's like 8 bars of intro. You have you have sort of 16 bars, well actually 20 bars of like this section, and then it changes. And you have 10 bars of this, and it changes again. And then you have like, what is this, like somewhere, it's all, then it all kind of goes kind of haywire, but at least you still have these like, okay, 4 bars of this, and it's slowly changing, but then 4 bars of this, 4 bars of this, 4 bars of this, 4 bars of this, and then we start up again. So the bars themselves are pretty well organized. Hey Sam, assuming your top favorite SNES soundtracks are the DKC series, what would you say fills out the rest of your top 5? Ooh, I would say I haven't really played a lot of SNES games beyond the DKC series, except for Yoshi's Island. I played a lot of Yoshi's Island, so I'd say really just stick to a top 4 and say that the fourth space is like, actually the fourth space is like Yoshi's Island. That's really the only SNES soundtracks I remember very well. The rest of my time was devoted to playing Donkey Kong 64. So that was like, I didn't really play a lot of SNES beyond that. That was mostly my experience. Okay, so we got to this one at like 40. Got this one done at like 49 minutes. So let's move on to now Funky's Fugue. Funky's Fugue will not have I don't think Funky's Fugue is very repetitive, so it won't have a lot going on here. F-Zero and Star Fox are pretty good soundtracks on this SNES. Yeah, those were good too. I remember the bum 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 Mute City. That's the one I know. Oh, look, we got samples missing. Oh yeah, that's right. I switched something. I switched to that one. I switched to a sample for that one. Oh wow, I'm still using contact 5 on this one. Why is that? Fix this. Oh wow. Missing some samples too. Ah, I see. I still got the I got the sample here, so it's all good. But basically, oh, all the some of the samples have disappeared. Wow. Let me just add those back in. Wherever they are. Might have to fix that actually. Square is still there, but the other pulse is not. Let's give this, I think this one is gonna be like, I don't know, I might have to fix that one, but yeah, basically what's going on here is we have an A power chord, right? So, and all these are just like, these are like different synths at different pulse widths. So let's say you have, so basically what's happening here is you have a square wave, right? That's this part. That means like this vibration that's happening over and over again. It's like evenly spaced, right? It's like up and then down, straight down and then over. But then it's like the pulses are like lopsided. So you have this and the square sounds like this. So then it goes over and then it goes all the way over. So it's like varying degrees of pulse width. Is basically like what you have there, but they're all the same note. And so that's happening. It's like a power chord with 16th notes to really get the pace up. And here's like, this is like over kicks, 4 on the floor kick, right? So it's basically like a club song. And this is like very much inspired by club, what is it? By Anything by Culture Beat. Yeah, Anything by Culture Beat is really good for this. The Thurk. Wow. Thank you, the Thurk. $50 from the Thurk. Nice. Thank you for that. That's amazing. So let's see. Yeah, definitely these are the best. Celebrate their 3rd super on the stream. Yeah. Nice. Love that. This is your 3rd super on a live stream. Nice. The big donation there. Yeah, we're moving up in the world. $50. Love it. Thank you so much. I found a bit of David Wise's music is inspired by Art of Noise. I'll have to check that out. I'm not familiar. So we have this 4 on the floor kick, right? To every quarter note, we're doing that. And then we have this riff. Oh, but it's not basically a pulse waveform for this one. But it's not showing up right now. I think we have to use this pulse. Oops, that's the synth bass. Nice. That's basically what it's playing, right? So this riff is like basically just bouncing between A and G, and it's doing like thirds, right? So you have in the timing. So you have the timing is a little bit off, and it's doing this like shuffle beat thing. So it's like not like while the kick is doing 4 on the floor, right? Boom, boom, boom. This one is breaking the beat, and it's doing like 3 half steps, 3 half steps, 3 half steps, and then 2 half steps. So we're kind of doing like a polyrhythm. And we're not even starting on the downbeat. So we're like keeping the kicks on the downbeat, but then we're like skipping a step here. So we have like a step going on. And this is actually not the true tempo. This is like 70 BPM. It would really be like more like 140, double that. So this is technically a step, like our 2 steps right here. We have we have an 1/8 note here. And then it's like 3/8 notes, 3/8 notes instead of 4. And then we have 3/8 notes, 3/8 notes, and then 2/8 notes here. So it's like 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 2. So it's like jumping between odd and even numbers, and those odd numbers really make really drive the beat forward because they're odd. And while the kick's going doom, 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 doom. So it's like a polyrhythm. It kind of sounds offbeat, but it's not. It's still all like really tying together, but it's just really like tricking our ear, and it's driving the song forward. So it's providing tension at the same time. It like controlled tension. Have you seen that YouTube video that is a Donkey Kong cover of Chocolate Rain? I think I've seen that before. Yeah, I've seen that like a while ago. Hey, how's it going? How's it going, S.A. Yamato Angelo SFA? Welcome. So now we have that going on, that polyrhythm, and now this bass line is doing, which is also broken. Yeah, this pulse bass. It's like shuffling up an octave at one point, which is really interesting. But it's basically going A, C, F, B, G, A. So we kind of have like a chord progression, right? There's not really very many chords in this song. In the rhythm, we're doing like an A power chord. But in the bass, we're going A to C to F, E, G, A. With this fun bass line. And it's doing this in like 16th notes, so we're really picking up the pace, but these are subtle 16th notes. Since you can't really hear the transition much, these are like sustain, or it's like a really long decay kind of thing. Nice, and then we have hi-hats going on. We have like short hi-hat, 2 short hi-hats, and then a long one, which is basically like a disco beat, right? Like you have the like our club beat. Really rapid hi-hat, so it's really kicking up pace. Yeah. And then so all together you have like it sounds a little weird because it's like some of the synths are broken. But that's basically what's going on. Yeah, the hi-ya. Yeah. So all the stuff, everything drops out here except for the bass. The only thing playing after that is the bass. And then you hear the hi-ya. And then you have the like real bass come in. This synth bass was just like a fake bass. We're like, no, it gets deeper. Like now we have this acoustic bass. But it's playing like these rapid notes. And it's playing like a gallop beat, right? Like you have 1/8 note and then you have 3/16 notes. And these are at lower velocity, so it doesn't really... We're mostly like accenting these like quarter notes here. And it's like playing with the kick, right? So it's really like pairing up with the kick. And it's following that same pattern as... Wow, YouTube just like took me away from my stream. I hate when it does that. All right, so yeah. It's going for now. Everything is going fine, and yeah, everything's going fine. It's been a bit crazy around here, but this weekend looks to be fun. This bass line is pretty much following the same notes as before, right? Without that jump up in the octave. And then we have this riff carrying over. And now we have snare coming in. So this is the typical snare. We're adding the snare onto that, and everything else is staying the same. And then you have like another popcorn synth, like this popcorn synth is jumping up on the octave, right? I really need to fill these in as best I can. Let's see. Something like that. So this one is following, this line is following the same kind of notes as the bass line, right? We're going da 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 A C G, but we're not going lower than that. We're letting the bass like take that part. Well, actually, no, it doesn't do this da dum dum. But we're basically just going like down from A to G, kind of doing like da 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 da. So we're keeping it simple here. And then we have another drop right here, right? Whoops, that's even wrong. Oh, all this stuff is like really outdated. So we have this high Q, this like zap here, which is like common on some samplers. It's like a really synth like zap thing. That is like way out of pitch and the wrong sample. There we go. And this is also the wrong pitch. Pitch of this. I think that's it. Something like that. Yeah, there it is. But I guarantee you that's not the real note. It's probably something, because this is like way outside its own scale. It's probably more like, this is like A. Because it's like, so it's playing in a minor scale, right? So we're going from the fifth to the, and we're like going like fifth down to fourth. And then we go down to the third of the scale, or no, this is like the seventh. No, but it's shifted out. So it's actually, the tune is like this, I think. Yeah, that would be it. And it's got like delay and reverb on it, so it sounds really like extreme. So we have the fifth down to the fourth, and it's kind of moving between there. It's like a real blues thing to do. And then we go, and then we center down on the C, which is the third. And then we go finally hit the 1, dun, dun, and then we immediately leave it and then start again. And then on this second time, we like once we get to we stop at the 1 instead of like bridging back to the beginning. And then we have like that drop again, right? We also have like that those zaps again. Have those zaps again, and then we have this woo to finish off the bar. Yeah. And so we're ending like kind of every 4 bars with that. And then we have in the space at the end of that line, the first time, we have this power chord again. And then we have some snares going on here. We have this snare fill. So he's filling it in with like stuff like that. And then we have a proper drop here at the end. High. So he's like high, high, high. So, and then it starts again. So right here at the end here, we're having like this. We actually, it's kind of, it's almost inaudible, but you have like, this is DK's hurt sound played up high. And then you have this. And then you have this. Oh yeah, that's DK's hurt sound again. Like his actual hurt sound. You have some sounds, all these sound effects together are like... And then you have the drums playing as normal, but then we have a fill here. Oh yeah, it's going from the zaps to that snare. Nice, nice fill there. Nice. So that's pretty much that song. Nice. It's like when it sounds like a... Oh yeah, that actually interesting thing about this, when Robin Beanland composed this, and it's his only credit in the game, that's because he was working on Killer Instinct at the time, and this song was intended for Killer Instinct. And so he did actually not, Robin Beanland didn't actually like come in and like encode this song. This song was programmed by Dave. He put all the sounds in and like input all the notes. Robin Beanland really just composed the made the composition, and then he passed it off to Dave to like put it into the SNES. He didn't actually like put it into the SNES himself. Dave did that. It's like a song, let's see. Yeah, that's Aaron is basically echoing what I said. Or like I'm echoing what Aaron said pretty much. I didn't see that comment yet. In fact, it's actually written for K2. There's even a killer mix. So yeah, I've heard that killer mix version of it. It's like really cool. Like, cause it's like actually like really well done. I like it a lot. I wonder if that's higher. It's like no, I think it's like I wonder if that's supposed to be higher because of Funky's Flights, or high yeah because it being from KI. It's I think it's supposed to be high yeah. It's like a chopping sound because it's a sound bite from a sample CD. So it definitely wasn't created, like it wasn't recorded for the game. It was a stock sound, and so I think it like maybe he could have been like, oh higher. That might have been his reason for like putting it in there. But definitely it's like the sound bite was supposed to be just saying hi yeah, you know, it's just like a sound to build some energy, I guess. It's like It's like when a song is in the opposite pitch. And to be honest, there's people who like the opposite pitch to mess with friends or just see how it sounds. Oh yeah, people do like transpose songs to different octaves and stuff. Or like in a different keys and like for fun. I've heard that. Because changing a key really like changes the emotion of a song. Like not really like there's no difference between keys. Like if you like it a song that's in one key will sound good in another. But if you're used to hearing a song in one key and it changes, then that's really gonna like mess with your head a lot. So people will take these songs they're used to, change the key, and they're like, whoa, it sounds so different. So that's basically that song. And let's see, did anyone have any other songs that they wanted to hear? I think we might cut it at there because my voice is like not bootstrap. Finally, I have the chance to catch one of the streams. Ah, okay, yeah, we'll continue. We might continue it. I can do like a couple more songs. Let's see what other songs would be interesting to analyze. We can do the boss tune. The boss tune's one of my favorites in this soundtrack. Let's go for that one so we can fill, because I want to fill like 2 hours here. I want to see if I can fill two. I'm sure I can fill 2 hours. We have like more compositions. But let's do the boss theme. The boss theme would be fun. I'm not saving changes to this. I'm gonna have to do a proper like fix for this. The theme is like a mess. Okay, so the boss tune, we have like the main theme in this thing is like the pizzicato notes, right? You have these. There's like some very rapid delay, which is sort of like picking up the pace, right? You have like without it, it's like well, with it, it's like really like makes like a ghost note sound. See, these notes are like half power. Very good echoes. So what these are outlining, what this riff is kind of outlining, it's like a oh wow, that's harsh. This is basically outlining a minor. These are like really low velocity. This is like outlining a minor B flat minor chord. Dun, 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 dun. And then it goes down to like this like these notes, 2 notes go lower. This isn't really like a chord per se. It's kind of like just going lower. And then you have this shuffle. And you go all the way down to this lower octave, right? Dun, dun, dun. And then you go up here. Dun, 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 dun. And this is kind of outlining a D sharp minor chord, inverted, right? Because if it was at root position, it would be like this. But it's like the bottom 2 notes are shifted up here. I need to make this like normal velocity and then like turn down the saturation here because that's really messing up the sound. Whoa. That's crazy. Why is it so distorted? That's wild. It should not be distorted like that. Crazy. Wow, it's like I think it's the patch that's too loud. Let me turn that down. There we go, that's much better. Right, so it's basically like you have this B flat minor chord, and the two notes shift down, and then you do like this. You go from, it's like a series of minor second notes. It's like basically like sounds kind of funny when it leads up like that because it's technically breaking the scale. Kind of sounds like cartoony. It's like whimsical. But then it goes down an octave. And then you do. This is like E flat minor. So the scale we're establishing here is definitely B flat minor. And we're really sticking to it so far. But there's one like really weird rhythm thing that's happening here that I'll cover in a second. See, finally I had the chance. Oh yeah, a distortion filter adds in a Eurobeat remix. Yeah, it's crazy how like a lot of things will just like, hey, distortion, and like that'll change the sound. So, and then we have like this part repeated again, right? And this is kind of breaking the scale, right? Because we're using this E here, and it's like sort of jarring. It's like dun dun. So we have this. If you take out all the A sharps, it's like dun 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 dun. It's also making that kind of whimsical sound because you're going straight down. Dun 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 dun. And these A sharps are really just serving to keep the pace up, right? So it's like rapid. But really the motif here is like. And then you do. Oh, this is like. Yeah, this is like. So this is really shifting like. So really he sort of breaks the timing here. So it's like he's cutting the bar short, really, like this. And then he's just like, normally the bar would restart here, right? Like this phrase would be like, like you would fill it in with like, and then you would start here again. But no, he like really like cuts it 3/8 notes short. And then he just starts the bar here. So he's like, it's really jarring because it's like just straight up like, it's like what? It's like you're restarting the bar. And you're going up, and you're going up one semitone. So you're upping the scale from B flat to B natural. And he's basically just repeating the same riff again. And then he just keeps on like cutting the bar short. So it is like another time signature change here. There's a downbeat here. And so technically, if you wanted to get technical with it, this is like this time signature that we're doing. If you wanted to like one straight time signature, this is like, what is this like? This would be something like, so the bar starts here. This would be 4/4, right? Because you have four beats to a measure, and then you have 4 quarter notes to a measure. So that would be 4/4. But this would be like, well, there's not even really any quarter notes here. It's like, can't divide this up very well. It's like 1, 2, 3. It's like 16 beats, and then 8, 12, 13 beats. So it's like 20. I'm not very good at math. It's like 16 plus 13 is like 29. So it's like 29 beats to a bar. But then you can't really divide that evenly. So it's not. So it's like, I don't know. There really has no solid time signature. It's just cutting the bar short every time. And it's rising a semitone. So it's like kind of slowly rising the tension. You have this like So you do. And one might argue that this is like this is actually where, no, because it's like this note is like lining up here, so it's like. It rises again. So then he's like, at this point, he's like walking it back down slowly. So he's like breaking the bar here and then walking it back down. And then we have the restart is like right here. So here's where it like really restarts this riff. So we're starting it all over again, and then it goes back down to the home key, and then it starts rising again. And so at this point, like we also have other things layered in here, right? Like we have this like little click, this little xylophone or something like this. It's like really a synth. And it's also doing, it's just straight hitting like the A sharp, the B flats, right? This is actually the wrong key. This is not the key that it plays in. But it keeps on going up and just kind of mirroring what the lower pizzicato is doing. Right? And then at the beginning here you have this. Oh yeah, this shuffle in the beat like doesn't really get reflected here, but when you go into the beat, it's like you have these forward like da 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 da. You have like 8 hits in the snare. And then this one cut short too, so it's like got that odd time signature. Where the bar is cut short every time. So it's like a really like uncomfortable beat. So it's building a lot of tension because it's not really what you expect. And then you have this like same sort of like acoustic bass and distortion guitar combo as you do in the final boss. So each of the bosses have this sort of like distortion bass combo. And it's basically just hitting B flats and doing these shuffles up, right? Dun, 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 and then rising. So the whole thing is like, the whole composition is basically rising, right? As far as the melodic instruments are concerned. Rising up. And then it's at its peak right here, because it goes it goes back down to the home key. So all the while this is happening, we start out with like some feedback guitar in the treble, right? So it's like, and this is like starting off in the home key, E B flat, and then we're going into E flat, so we're going up a fourth, and then we go down to C. And then at this point, it's like we're doing this bridge back down to the end, like down to the home key. And then we go in with that main riff, right? So we're basically repeating this whole thing is like repeating a second time. So it's everything is repeating exactly, but this time we're doing a melody in the electric guitar. And the melody is also rising every like cutoff bar. So it's like we're starting in, this is like really a sort of an F Phrygian melody, so to speak, because no, it's like sort of a what's that mode again? It's like starts on the 7. But actually are we starting on the 7? Because this is like the home key is like B flat minor. And then we're starting on the 5th. So this is like a Mixolydian melody, I guess. So it's like dun, 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 dun. Starting on here, so it's basically having this like kind of we're going up to 1 here. We're going from, let's see, what's this, like 5? We're going 5, 1, 7, 7, 1, 5. And then we're going 6, 7, 5, 1, 5, 7, 1, 5. So we're kind of bouncing between this like G sharp and this F. Da, 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 da. Which is something kind of like, it's kind of feels fun and witty because it's bouncing in like minor thirds. And then doing like, then going to this. Kind of has that kind of pattern. And then it just keeps on repeating, right? It goes up. Bum, bum. And then he does that walk down in the bridge. It's like bum bum ba-dum. This is really just a chromatic walk down back to the home key. But then instead of it going again, we get a break. Like now it's changing. So now we just have, now we're going down. Now we're breaking out of the home key and we're doing something unexpected. We're going down to A. So we're basically doing that riff again, but down like a semitone lower and going to A minor. Right? And we're going up 1 note. So we've also dropped the electric guitar and we just have the acoustic bass, right? And we're not even doing those notes up again. We're just doing straight up A's and then going up a semitone. And then we go back down. We're not really rising that much anymore. And we have this like beat of toms. It's like kind of like what we had in, this is kind of an allusion to the beginning of Jungle Hijinks. Because it's the same kind of drums we had in Jungle Hijinks, right? And it still has this beat of like, and sort of what makes this beat fun is like we're doing, when we've been doing this since the beginning, we're doing 3. We're like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and then we're shuffling it back, like doing 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So it's a lot of, it's kind of fun and like, it's really an odd beat. It's like very unexpected, right? Yeah, that guitar is badass. Badass boogie. Exactly. Hey, hello, Sam. Hello, welcome, Rarity the Final. Welcome to the stream. Do. Okay, so then when we go back down to the A minor, we have these suspenseful strings, right? My family's like blowing up my phone when I sent them that, like after sending them this funny YouTube comments. So here we're kind of doing like we're starting in like C, like a major third on C. Right? We're doing, and then we're just going down a semitone, down a minor second. Da, da. It's really suspenseful, right? Na, na, na. And we're going like, we're doing these like chromatic walk downs, except for this is kind of diatonic. We're doing like a minor third to a major third to another major third. Da, na, na. And these strings are like stopping, like at the end of the note, they're suddenly stopping. And then they're like fading in on each note, right? So it's like very much like foreboding and scary. But at the same time, it's still kind of reprising that main riff because it's like da, na, 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 na. And it's using that rhythm still. And it's going up a semitone, right? So it's changing the key, shifting the key up. And then in the middle of that riff, we have the we have that same orchestra hit from Funky's Flights. Doing single notes, right? So it's like... And then we go to this climax. So we're like... This comes in, and then it's rising. So it goes up a semitone. And then we hit our climax, right? So we shift up to... What is this key that we're in? We shift up one more note, and then we go to B. So we go from B flat to B, all right? The bass is just doing this. So then we're in the thing we're doing. So we're adding some like regular strings, right? And we're doing, and then we're doing this pattern like dun 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 dun. And this whole riff is kind of very inspired by the Halloween theme, right? So because it's like, that's kind of the how the Halloween theme goes. And the Halloween theme is like uncomfortable because it has this it very much has like breaks that rhythm up, right? By restarting again. So this is very much inspired by the Halloween theme, I feel like. And then you have this, you have these bongos coming in. Pretty cool. And then you have this snare it's a snare sample, but it's supposed to be like a timpani, right? It's doing that thing where it's like you use a snare sample to make the timpani sound. Because this is that's the regular snare. Then we go down an octave and go down some more. So, and it's... And then we have that bridge, and we start back again with the start back again into the main mix, right? So it repeats. So we build the attention up. He builds the tension up to a climax, and then he just drops it back down. Like now we're going back to the beginning. And this is written so it's like, oh, you know it's the beginning because like you know it's a repeat. We're going back to what we've heard before. We know it's comfortable. Then it's like suddenly like raising tension and then removing it. My text notification is the coin for sound from Super Mario Bros. Nice, very creative. That's it gets your attention too, like the and basically that coin sound is like a square note that like briefly hits like C, like I don't know what note it is, probably C. But basically you have a square that just kind of briefly goes and then it fades out, right? So that Super Mario Bros. Coin sound is like a fading out snare, square. I actually have to do band limit here. And so it's briefly hitting a C and then going up an octave. So it has that sort of like cash register sound, like cha-ching, cha-ching. Pretty creative. Super Mario Bros. NES soundtrack analysis, right? The climax sounds inspired by the Halloween theme from... Yes, exactly. I want to restore the final boss battle from Super Mario World, but the guitar is not found. Ah, I'm not really familiar with that one. Super Mario World final boss. Do not. I know only know the Yoshi's Island final boss. Okay, but that's basically like the boss theme, right? Is there any other one that we want to Check out maybe Bonus Room Blitz, because I want to fill like 2 hours here. I want to stream for like 2 hours today. Let's try Bonus Room Blitz, right? I don't want to save this. It's very trash metal inspired. Ah, yeah, that's true. It's kind of like, I don't even know what, I think do you mean thrash metal? That's like, or is this trash metal actually a thing? I never know with metal subgenres because white people keep inventing like different like genres of metal. Actually, the original guy, Ozzy Osbourne, was kind of like with the Black Sabbath, was kind of the inventor of metal, so it was already kind of a white thing. There's so many subgenres of metal that people keep inventing. It's crazy. Can't keep up with them. The uncompressed samples are found in the Nintendo Giga Leak, but not the actual names of the sources. Ah, okay. So it was like their sources are there, but they're not really known. That's interesting. So Bonus Room Blitz, I don't even have like. I think I did this. This is so old. I did this all in one pattern. I don't know why I did this. So in the what he does first here with this bass, right? He's like, oh, all these names are weird too. So he's kind of like including this first bar as like just kind of a short introduction before it gets into the full swing, because the full swing is here. But he starts this like bar introduction. And what he's doing with this bass is like is 4 5 1 1 1 1 1 and then 1 up an octave. So he goes C C C C and then like this quick G down to and then down to the full swing. And then he's kind of alluding that this is going to be like a happy theme, right? Because it's like 4 5 1 4 5 1 da, da, da. This is like really going to be a really satisfying theme. So he's giving us a real quick preview into that. And then he does do 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 do. He goes 1 1 1 1. So he goes 1 1 1 1 5 da, da. And then he does this passing tone, this passing G sharp into A, which is the sixth of the scale. So 1 5 6 4, and 1 5 6 4 is like the most common chord progression ever. It's like sort of the happy chord progression because we have all the major notes, all the major chords, right? 1 5 6 4, and then this 6 is the only thing that's minor. Just it gives us a little bit of emotion by including a minor chord in there. So we have major, major, minor, major, 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 minor, major. Dun, 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 and then this brief 4 5 1 right here. Dun, dun, dun. We're having a lot of fun with it, right? Dun, dun, dun. And then, so then we go 1 1 5 5 4 5 1 da, da, da. So we have that same intro. That's the same kind of thing from the intro. He's just ending it there and then wrapping back around to a new section. And then in the man, I did this really weird. In the marimba, we're kind of doing this like. So we have like this dun da da dun da da da. It's sort of weird because this is like this is like 4 5 4 5 1. So we have the root, it's F major. First two notes of F major, then the first two notes of G major, which is the 4, the 5. And then we have the fifth of the 1, C major. And then we have the root of C major. Dun, 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 da, da, da. And then we go up to the root and third of C major. Dun, da, da, dun, da, da, da. We have those 3 hits are very much a samba. This is like kind of a really samba inspired piece in the rhythm anyway. The chord progressions say pop, but the rhythm says samba. So it's a common thing where you do like da da da, and then you go into the swing. That's like kind of a samba thing, I believe. Bum ba da bum da da da. Kind of a really whimsical way to go up. And then he doesn't hit the one, like he leaves the one out of the marimba, which is kind of like a really like Latin jazz thing to do. It's like you keep the bass and the kick in like on the one of the beat, but then he leaves it. Then you leave the rest of the instruments to wait an eighth note before going into the into doing their riff. So we're kind of just playing around with like two notes in C major, right? We're doing in the one, and then we're going up to, this is the one chord, right? We're going up, and then we're going up to 5. This is the two top notes of G. And so we're playing around with the chord progression here, like we're doing like a riff. And then this is like, and this is kind of like C, like the one chord again for some reason. And then we go into like the 6th chord, playing around with the 6th chord. No, this is actually 4. It's actually 1. So this is like 1, 5, 1, 4 somehow. And then this is technically we're in like the 6th chord here. But he hits that G sharp because this is like a 7th actually. So we're going into a 7th here. Ah, yes. And then he goes with that 1 of the A minor. And this is like somewhere, this is like shifting back to 4, right? So it's like 1, 1, 5, 6, 4. We're doing 1, 5, 6, 4, 1, 5. So then we're doing that introduction again. So, and then in the what's next? We have the drums kind of doing its thing. Can you recommend me a random game to play right now? You should play Cuphead. Cuphead is a great game. That's something you can get on your computer, and it's not very CPU intensive, so you can pick it up and play it. And it's a relatively economic game. That's something you can play like right now if you have a PC and you have Steam. I would highly recommend Cuphead. So this is another oldie you can do the victory tune. Also add the victory tune at the end of this. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Cuphead is difficult, but so worth it. Yeah, Cuphead makes. I've heard Cuphead like really frustrate some people. I didn't find it frustrating. Like I was able to like. It's really like you have to keep doing stages over and over again, but it's like you'll learn them eventually. Like you just have to keep your determination. Yeah, I believe SNES was also included. Oh yeah, that's true. Okay, now in the beat here, right? We have like this. Here, let me like enable the drums here. So we have like these toms. We have like, I think these are supposed to be like timbales. Yeah, this is like supposed to be a timbale. And a timbale is like a very common Latin drum, which sounds like if you were to use an actual timbale, he would probably use the Roland R8 one, which would sound like, what's that timbale? Dun 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 dun. So it would be like dun 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 dun. So he's really using that to function as the timbales. And this is in the intro, right? And so in the main swing, we have like this kick and clave combo. That's not the right tune, actually. It's like... It's kind of like a really, this is a really Latin rhythm. So we have like these two, wait, no. We have this. So the kicks are hitting like 4 on the floor, right? But it has like these like, it's 4 and 4 and 4 and 4, a 4, a 4. So it has this really like gallop rhythm. So we're getting a 4 on the floor with like some slip notes here. Like actually these are all on the 4th of each quarter note. So it's like do 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 do. But the clave is doing like this, like, okay, so it's on the ands, like 4, it's like 1 and 2 and then we have like this sort of like calypso thing, like where we're doing like some offbeats here. We're doing it in like kind of like thirds here and then like a little bit of an ending here. And then in the bongo you have like so Latin rhythms like do a lot on the offbeats, right? Like it keeps the kick on the quarter notes. And then we have like these like this is also doing quarter notes, I think, for the most part. But we have this like so it has a lot, like it's a lot of really fast rhythms, and it's like really gets you dancing. So it's like a samba thing or a salsa thing. That's kind of how it's really very Latin rhythm there. And I think, and then there's like these snare notes here too. You have this like random high pitched side 6 snare. This is the snare sample just like played up. 2 octaves roughly. Almost 2 octaves. You have this really funky rhythm, right? It's like really gets you dancing. The band Men at Work from Down Under. What's it? Oh, yeah, it kind of does sound like that, right? It's like dun, 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 dun. Yeah, the 1-5-6-4 is used in chord progression is used in Down Under. I come from a land, so it'd be like if you were to put the vocals of Down Under over this, it would be like, let's see. It'd be like I come from a land down under. I don't know the words to that song actually, so it's like it's like what are even the words to that song? It's like I come from a land down under. I don't even remember. Let me look up the lyrics to that song. Right, so if we play that song over this, it's like... Oops, I have to actually... It'd be like... I come from a land down under, where rivers flow and men shunder. No, wait, I'm getting the rhythm wrong. I want to try to get this right. I come from a land down under, where rivers flow and men shunder. Can you hear that thunder? It's actually not quite the same. I think it's like, it's also slower, I feel like. I don't know. It's the same chord progression, definitely. All I remember from that song is Vegemite Sandwich. Yeah, right? The Australian Vegemite. The women glow and men plunder. Yeah. Good song. Nice poppy song. I come from a land down under. You can see it somewhat works. Good try. Thank you. Yeah, we tried. Now, the melody to this song is kind of like doing, right? We have like, we're starting on G, which is the 5th of the chord. And then we're doing like that 7th. Da, da, do. And like this D is the start of the 5 chord, so like that's the 5th of G. Da, 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 da. So we're hitting that D on the chord change. Da, 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 do. And then we're giving it a rest. So we're hearing we're mostly hearing the harmony, and that's in that 5 chord. Da, 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 do. And then we're also skipping the downbeat on this one, so that's like a very Latin thing to do. And then we're taking the 5th of the, we're starting on the 5th of the 6th chord as well when we hit that 6th chord. So we're starting on 5ths here. We're doing the melody is mostly on 5ths of the chord, right? So we're doing G is the 5th of the chord, and then D is the 5th of the chord, and then E is the 5th of that chord, and then C is the 5th of the 4 chord. So we have this theme of like hitting on he's like focusing on the 5ths in the melody. So we have like, and then this is kind of a unique thing he does where it's like, this is the 6, 4, 5, 4, 4, 5. No, this is like 6, 5, 4, 5, 1, da da da. So he's kind of really like, he's variating on the 4, 5, 1. He starts doing like 4, 5, no, 4, 5, 6, no, 1, 5, 6, 4, 1, no, 6, 6, 5, 4, 5, 1. So he's kind of variating on it a little bit, which is, he's doing some pretty creative stuff. Whatever that means. Nice. Well, this guy just chimes in with whatever that means, because I'm speaking a lot of like musician speak. You can't really analyze these soundtracks without doing a little bit of musician speak. It is like, but it does work because it's like the most common chord progression ever. I sent that coin SFX on Discord if you were ever to do something with it. Ah, thank you. Yeah. So we're kind of like doing the 5th. We're doing the 5th of this one, 5th of this chord, and then now we're actually going to the 1, like to the root of 1. So this is the 5th of the 4th chord, and then we're like resting on the root of the root chord. And then you hear that ba-da-dum, that nice ba-da-dum hit. And then we're doing something different here. Like we're only doing 1 5. We're not like resting on 1 5. So we don't keep repeating 1 5 6 4 because that would get boring. Here we're doing 1 3. So we have the bass going, and we're doing 1 3 4, and then we're doing like a flat 5th. So we're like actually kind of breaking the scale here. We're going up to that F sharp, which is not in the scale. 1 3 4 flat 5th, 1 5 4 5 1. So we kind of do some really bluesy stuff here because blues really likes this like tritone here, this like flat 5th. So we're doing like some dum dum, and then in this next bar we go back to like what we know, right? We're doing 1 5 4 5 1 da da da. So we're kind of going like back to like we're repeating that intro again. So this is like the 3rd time we've repeated that one. It's kind of like a motif. And then in the marimba, we're kind of highlighting that, right? It's a very chromatic thing, right? Because we keep rising like that. And then in the marimba, we're really like outlining that chord. Right? And this is actually like this G sharp means it's kind of a this is like E major. So it's not only are we going to the 3rd chord of the scale, we're also making it major, which you like this because this G sharp is not in the scale. It's the leading tone in the scale, which also makes it like really jarring because it's like, dun, dun, dun. Okay, we're hearing the 1 chord, and then we're hearing like a major 3 chord, which is kind of jarring, right? So it's kind of like. So we're going 1 major third, major 3, and then 4. So we're going back to what we know. We're kind of like building tension here, and then we're releasing tension going back to that 4. But then we're like building tension by going to this this tritone here, because this is a tritone, C and F sharp. Which is very dissonant. And so it's basically an F sharp diminished chord that which we're alluding to here. And then we go back to like 1, 1, 5, 4, 5, 1, da da da. So that's really satisfying. Using that 4, 5, 1 is very satisfying. And then in the, see, what else do we have going on here? We have the beat is pretty much doing the same thing. It's just repeating the whole time. Right, so we're not really doing much in the beat. And not anything different anyway. So then the melody is like this jazz guitar from Jungle Hijinks, right? We're doing like, this is very bluesy. We're doing like, so we're doing like this D sharp is like the diminished, like the would make it diminished. It's like we're slipping up to this 5th of the chord with this like E, and then we're going to like the 5th of the chord. No, this is a 3rd of the chord. We're going from 3rd to 5th, going from flat 3rd to natural 3rd to 5th. So like the chord is like this. Whoops. But we're hitting this like D sharp here because it's like an accidental. And then we're going to this E major. But we're like hitting the 3rd here. Dun, dun, dee. 3rd to up to 5th. Dun, dun. So we're like rising here with the harmony. The melody is right, and then we do, at this point we're in F. So we're making it like an F dominant. Doing that we're doing that diminished chord thing, which is like a real, like accenting the dominant is like a dominant chord is like a definite blues thing. And then we go into that 4, 5, 1 section where it's like, so we're on the 1 chord here. But we still have that blues scale going, right? Like, so we're on this C major chord here. And then we go to the 4. I think we're going to the 4 here, the 4 chord. And then it's like, no, this is the 5th chord, I think. So we're going to like, sort of like a minor here. Oh no, that's the accidental. So we're going like this G major chord. We're doing that slip note and then starting on the 3rd to the 5th. And then we go to the 4th, to the F major chord here. So we're going up to this like dominant 7th here. With it, we're outlining like a diminished chord. And then we're ending on the 1, doing with this C, ending on this C chord. So altogether it's like, so we're building tension in these 2 bars here, and then we're kind of like going back to like something satisfying with these 3 bars. Pretty cool. Good evening. Let's see. I wish I knew how to read composition sheets. Oh, I don't even know how to read composition sheets. I just use the piano roll. I can generally read them, but it takes a long time. I like the numbers being associated with tunes. I don't use A, B, C, D, E, F, G. Yeah, it's a you can use it. The numbers help you like denotate it in relativity to a scale, whereas the notes are just like those are the notes on this key. It doesn't imply a scale. But saying one is like the home key of the scale. So that's how you kind of know the direction that you're going. The context. Reading chords help me read sheet music better. Nice. Yeah, reading I know chords, but I don't know how to read sheet music very well. So, good evening and good night, Sam. A bit too late for me, but I hope you're having a good stream. All right. Well, thanks for popping by, Lake Limbo. Working with beatbox software online helped me kind of get it, and I still need to study. Yeah, you need to keep studying and studying and studying to really get it. I heard Paul McCartney doesn't know how to read composition sheets just like me. Yeah, no, you don't really need to know how to read composition sheets. Composition sheets are mainly for like if you're playing on piano or a guitar and you're like doing a very mostly for classical or jazz music. But if you're just playing like Paul McCartney is like in a like the Beatles were like a pop band, so you really didn't need to you just needed to play chords mostly. And then you needed to remember the melody. You really didn't need score sheets. Unless you're like playing in an orchestra or you're playing in a jazz band, then you kind of need short score sheets. You're very good at covering and restoring these tracks. You have a good ear. Thank you, Sierra. I taught myself to play piano when I was younger, so I only know the letters A through G. When I got older, I played piano at a local church where I learned chords. Sheet music came later in school. Yeah, the funny thing is like actually like that kind of took me aback for a second because A is like right next to G. So which is kind of where it rolls over. Like you go from G to A. But the tune goes like, so you have A, B, C, D, E, F, G, and then it goes back to A. But it's not even where it's considered to be like the middle. The C major is like the most common major, but the A is over here. So it rolls over from G to A here, but then the middle C, like C is like the most common scale, and it's here. So that's kind of funny. So he kind of like goes into like he has this intro and then he has this dreamy section with the pan flute and then he has this really jazzy section with the guitar. And then now he goes into something more samba like using these using these monkey sounds. But this is supposed to be like an allusion to like a cuica, what's called a cuica, which I'll play it for you. It's a very like Brazilian instrument. Let me see if this one has a cuica. Yeah. So he's very creative. He's basically using those monkey sounds to like simulate a cuica. So you'd have this and he's doing this like these are tuned in fifths, right? Or it's like fourths. So it's like kind of has that power chord sound. And that's very much a samba tune because what Brazilians would kind of do is they usually have like an agogo, right? So if you take an agogo sample and they use the real instrument, but they basically go. So he's basically taking a samba beat that would usually use an agogo, and he's like playing a cuica but with monkey sound. So that's kind of interesting, kind of funny, very creative use of sound effects. And so he's also echoing this beat in the toms, right? So the toms are doing. We have more of a traditional drum set tom pitch here. So he's doing. And then you have this, he's really breaking the rhythm here. So we're going into triplets instead of fourths. So we have, because this is like threes, right? It's like, instead of being 4 to a bar, we're going into like triplets, which is really kind of like drawing. It's like, oh, it's kind of makes us really like, really takes us aback because we're changing the beat. So he's like, da, 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 da. So, and then he's leaving like space here, right? And then it's like, da, da, dun, and then he goes back to the beginning, right? So it's like, da, 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 dun, 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 dun. So he's rolling back to the beginning with that. And then the rest of the drums, we kind of do, you're still keeping the same beat, same rhythm, right? Same beat as before, the beat is still repeating. And it does that, that's kind of like a breakdown, right? Like we stop everything and then we just do these like drums in triplets. Pretty fun. And that's really all there is to that section, right? We have this like monkey sounds. So it's like a drum solo, really, because these are all percussion, like a percussion solo. So we give the melodic instruments a rest. There's no bass, no marimba, no melody. And we just have these drums going. Sort of like that Phil Collins Tom breakdown, right? Almost alluding to that in a way. And then we roll back over to the beginning. So that's a lot of fun. And then I don't have the like victory tune here, but you know. Sam, what led to, wait, I have to take this as it goes. I used to take piano and violin lessons years ago, learned how to read sheet music. How to fly. Gotta kill it. Learn how to read chords, never learned how to read chords, just the notes. Well, yeah, chords are kind of useless for a violin because a violin cannot play chords. Like you can play like 2 notes at a time, right? If you like hold the 2 strings down, but chords are not really feasible on violin. So, oh, but if you're playing piano, like you can do chords, but not violin. So if you like in classical music doesn't really often use like whoops, that's the wrong instrument to play for that. Classical music almost never does like block chords, right? Like they're doing like they're like classical music is like really doing a lot of melodies. It's like things are moving around. You're not really doing a lot of block chords, so to speak. You're kind of just like implying chords all over the place. So that's really like chords are really not that useful for classical music because classical music rarely ever does chords like block chords. So it's kind of not really. That's why kind of sheet music doesn't really usually say chords on it traditionally because classical music was not really based on chords like pop music is. Sam, what level of music theory do you at least need for video game music? I mean, you don't really need any, like, I don't know if you need any, like, for video game music, because Japanese people included a lot of theory. Like, if you look at the Pokemon Ruby soundtrack, it's like, that's really classical. It really, like, helps to understand. You don't need as much music theory as you do for, like, classical. But it helps to kind of understand, like the more you know, the better. What is like the at least what you at least need? You at least need like a good foundation of like you need to know your chords and you need to know how your scales go. Like you need to know, okay, like C major, like you have the C scale, right? You need to know have a basic understanding of scales. Like a C major scale, then a C minor scale. And then you need to be able to like recognize those, like if that scale goes up, like, oh, you have C sharp minor, C sharp major, or C sharp minor. So basically just know your scales and then know your chords, right? So if I do my chords in C major, it's like, so basically just know your scales, know your chords, be able to recognize a major versus a minor chord is really the thing. I would say it's that's a lot, but it's like mostly you just need to recognize chords, you need to recognize the context and the scale is really all it is. That's pretty simple. Pretty much the simplest part. I'm late to arrive, but love this. Please keep up this stream for later. Yeah, I mean, we're on the end of our stream right now, so we're actually just finishing. But you can feel free to watch this again. But we'll be streaming tomorrow again, I promise. Welcome, Serenimus. Seronimus. But yeah, we pretty much just went through the bonus room, and then we went through like before that we went through boss the boss tune, and then before that we went through Northern Hemispheres. So if you like I'll put those the timings in the description so you can go and watch those. But as far as like this is like 2 hours is kind of my limit. My voice is starting to go out. What's tomorrow? DKC 2? Yeah, we can do more DKC 2 tomorrow. I want to like try to I almost kind of want to restore something new tomorrow. Maybe. So do you guys want to do like I thought about doing a Donkey Kong 64 restoration cuz I am in like I do have like enough stuff figured out where I can do a Donkey Kong 64 restoration. I vote DKC 2. All right. We'll see whatever if everyone else chimes in and they want more DKC 2 analysis, we can do that. I'm all for. Oh, we got one for DK64. Wow, there's like an even tie. Okay, that would be cool too. Nice. DK64 has a very underrated OST in my opinion. Yeah. So whatever y'all want, I think we're kind of tied right now. Like people are on the fence. So I'll probably decide tomorrow and then make it a surprise. But basically, this is where I start to cash out. I gotta go. What time is it? It is 21:42 here. Which if you're in I've been trying to use the 24-hour clock. Basically that's like 9 p.m., right? I think so. Yeah, that's like 9 p.m., like 9:42 p.m. So I vote DKC3. Oh, DKC3. Yeah, I want to finish I want to finish like this is basically finishing DKC1 analysis. Like I will not do a part 5 of this. And then I want to finish like DKC2 before I go into DK3 and make it like a progression. But we'll definitely do like some of DKC3 later. Thank you for the stream. It was very informative and interesting. You're welcome, Fuyuka Shimoishi. Oh, thanks for showing up. Wow, we got someone from Japan over here. Nice. Good to get to see someone from Japan shining in. I do believe that's yeah, it's definitely Japanese. Nice. Welcome. All right, y'all. Hey, Sam. Just wanted to say your Glover Atlantis theme is awesome. I've been listening to that on loop. Nice. Welcome, Battle Brother Eli. Glad you enjoyed it. Yeah, that one was a really fun one to do. I have to do more of Glover. I want to do like Out of This World 1. And then, and because that one really suffered in the port to PC. I feel like they just like really butchered that one. So I really want to do like Out of This World 1 at some point, maybe next week. I have a lot of plans of things to do. I also have a new cover that's coming out soon. I'm in the editing, like I'm editing the video right now. And so that'll be fun. It's a new Donkey Kong cover. And I'm excited to exhibit that soon. That'll be, I don't know, maybe we'll get to that. Maybe we'll get that done by next week as well. So next week we have some exciting things coming up. I also have an album that's coming out soon that someone commissioned me to do. So it's like an original music album styled after the SNES. So that'll be coming out soon. That'll probably be coming out like next month or something like that. So lots of exciting things happening. But I'm gonna get off here and call it a night because it's 9 p.m. Not from JP. Just have a very strong ties to it. Very nice. I like that. It's very good. Well, it's nice to see a Japanese name in here anyway. All right. So thank you for all you do, Sam. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Grandmaster Azure. 2024, the year of Sam. Yeah, 2024 is my year. Nice. All right, y'all. Well, I will bid you all good night, and we will be back tomorrow, maybe with a DK64 restoration and maybe with more DKC2 analysis. We shall see. Hope your voice recovers soon. Yeah, the voice will recover. It's just like a lot of talking. Basically, I'm yapping a lot, and that's a lot for my voice. I don't usually yap a lot, believe it or not. I was thinking of maybe commissioning to you to do a Tim. You to do a Tim Fallen Geoff Fallen track in Geoff's memory. He passed from cancer. Ah, okay. Yeah, message me about that. Like I need to, because I need to make sure that the game is doable, like that all the sources are discovered. So if you message me, if you either email me from the email link on my channel, or if you message me on Discord, there's a link to my Discord, to the Discord group on my channel. I can talk to you about that. Thanks, Sam, for the streams. Have a good night. Have a good night, Aaron. Thank you for coming. Hydration helps, especially when it's hot where you are. 100 degrees F here. It's not really hot in New York right now, but I've been drinking water. I do need to drink. I probably should drink some more. I just forget to take sips a lot of times, but I need to go and drink some water. All right, y'all. So have a good night, and it's going to be a SNES track. So I hope you can find samples. Hopefully, I have to check. So I have to do some research into it, and then we'll talk about it. But yeah, I'm gonna be calling it a night tonight. So thanks you guys for coming to the stream, and this will be Jam and Sam signing off until tomorrow. Good night, Fuyuka. Have a good night. Try Honey's brand for the drops. I have honey in my house. So I'll probably use that. All right, have a good night, y'all.